Hello folks, John here with Atomic Sales and Services, and today we're going to be doing all things brake on this Stihl 026 Pro Arctic. So we're going to be changing the brake handle, and we're going to be taking off the brake band and inspecting it, and as well inspecting all of our linkages and all parts in between. So we're going to start that today. We're using our 3/4 inch socket on an impact, our T27 on an impact, small impact, just a 12 volt, a 1/8 flat top screwdriver, and a 1/4 inch flat top screwdriver with a notch that are grounded in it with a bench grounder. As well, we're going to be using about 30 psi of air today, just to see if we need to clean anything up. I'm not sure if we'll be using the air, but I like to have it here. So let's get that bar and chain on. I live here in Newfoundland. Today is April 23rd, and it is snowing. There's still a lot of snow out there. Still enough to go on snowmobile, which is madness. We'll take off our clip with the screwdrivers you just seen, washer, and our sprocket, as well as clutch drum and needle bearing. Next, we're going to take off our chain guide. This thing needs to come off so we get our brake linkage cover off. There's a few good things inside that brake linkage. So we'll take this off. Now we have 3 screws. 1, 2, and 3. Then our cover can come off. Now this cover gets gummed up sometimes, so you may need to use a screwdriver just to pry it a little bit. Here I have a wire. This wire is the ground for my heated handle grip. There we go. And there we go. This is our clutch drum. We're going to put our 3/4 inch in forward because this is a left-hand thread. There we are. Now, if you're only changing the brake linkage or the brake band, I'm going to show you how to swap this out now, and the rest of this video probably won't even apply to you. Besides Disassembly, so you can skip forward if you want or keep watching. Here's our brake band. Let's just give that a little clean, little inspection. I mean, it works fine, but I'm gonna have a look at it. That all looks fine. It's not burnt up. Take out our worm gear for our oiler and our bushing for our oiler. There we go. Set that aside. Now we need to, in order to change this handle, we need to take off our spring. And in order to do that, the easier way is to initiate your brake. So here we go, brake is initiated. And now your spring is a little more closed up. And then let's just get this spring off here. There we go, just took a few turns with my small flat top screwdriver. And now to take off your brake, you take this one screw on your needle side. In here on your linkage, there's a small clip. We'll take this one out. There we go. And now this piece is free to move with your brake handle. You need to take off these 2 parts because your linkage goes inside your brake handle to go on this pin. So as you can see, there we go. Now this piece never really wears out, but if you if you want to replace it, I'm not going to take this off. There's just your little pin here, or your clip here, and this spring. The spring is just attached just to this pin, and then when this clip is out, all this comes off. And then replace it, put your clip back on. Now we're going to look at this brake handle. It's not even really that dirty. The brake handle is fine. So let's put all this back together. So this linkage is very interesting. This saw is a 1125 class, and this linkage is for a 1121 saw, which would be, I think, a Stihl 026, 260, and 240. And from my understanding, like, you always need to read the letters for letters and numbers when you're putting things on, but in this particular case, it goes the opposite way. So you don't want to read these numbers and letters. Now we're going to thread this linkage in through our brake band this way. There we go. There we go. And this is on. And we'll take our small clip and put it over our linkage. The help of this small screwdriver will help us. Just push it down. Here we go. Here's our clip. Everything inside is working, functioning properly. Now let's put on our brake band. This brake band, the pin is loose. To my knowledge, the brake band pin is supposed to stay in the brake band. I don't know if this one's broken or it was how it was made. So anyways, here we go. Now we'll take our spring. Our spring goes to the top of our linkage. So we'll take our brake off. Then we'll put our brake on. So we'll put our brake on. So now, the reason why I put my brake on is because, like I said, it closes up that spring gap. So it makes it much easier to apply with our specially made screwdriver. Ground wire in here, tan up. Here we go. Our spring is on. Then we can go ahead and put our brake cover on. Grab our this is our grounding wire. Ground wire goes on the outside of this plastic case, and it is grounded by the screw. We'll grab our impact. And next, and folks, I must apologize for my unedited videos, as I'm sure they do take up a lot of your time. I started posting videos, and next I'll learn the editing. But I wanted to start making videos first. Chain guide screw snug down. Let's go ahead and put our worm gear and our collar on. thread. Oh, needs to take our brake off and put our clutch on. Left hand thread, put your drill in reverse to go forward. This thing takes a little bit of torque. Go to our needle bearing. Look for our worm gear. Our worm gear arm is up here. And now look for the notch on your clutch drum right here. So this is going to get me into right vicinity. And that's on. And our sprocket, followed by washer, followed by clip. Just give that a little push down with the screwdriver. Sometimes I use screwdriver, sometimes I use pliers. Now we'll put our handle on. Everything on this saw is magnesium, so it's a little more tough than plastic. I do use my impact a little more frugally, or a little more than I would on a plastic saw, like an 025. There's our clutch cover. There's our chain cover. Letters up on our nuts. Again, I don't argue that. So I do it forward and on. There we have it, folks. Well, thank you very much for joining me in taking apart and reassembling the brake handle and brake band. Thank you, guys.